H. Brown Bulldog with Skippy. And we're at Manny's. Eskenazi enters. I've been following that guy with the pencil in his mouth with the backpack there. Been the best political writer in San Francisco for 25 years. He's really good. You're here to see Lurie, though, right?
Yeah.
Chill, Skippy.
There was no wall.
Yeah, I'm ready for Mayor Breed to go bye-bye.
Yeah, I don't think there's a chance of that. I don't think there's a chance of Mayor Breed going away as long as we have private, what do you call them, the voting codes, how do they vote? What do they count that? Algorithms?
Yeah, but he's a Lurie. It's kind of like being like a Pelosi or a Newsom.
Yeah, but if you own the voting machines, you can't lose. There's no way that she beat Dean Preston in D5. I don't think she's ever won a race. I think Leno should be there. And Manny's back. Skippy won't wear my hat.
Is he gay? Do you know?
Huh?
Is he gay?
Nah. Got a couple kids. Might be gay, I don't know. That's a question about who cares in this time.
No, I know.
I didn't come here because I'm gay 42 years ago. I came for sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and I've never been disappointed.
Yeah.
Have you been here before?
No, I mean, I live in this area, but I've never actually come in here now.
Hey, Manny, welcome back.
Good to be back.
Godspeed, man. Good to see you.
I'm sorry, I'm not dressed very.
You look beautiful.
I dressed aspirationally today.
Oh, that's the guy that owns the place? That's me.
Yeah, that's me. He was in Israel one.
Good evening, everyone. How are we?
Yeah.
Hi. Happy almost Halloween. We are here tonight as part of the Mission Local Live series. How many people have been to these Mission Local Live series before? Raise your hand. Okay, 30% of folks. This is Manny's, so there's a lot of things happening at the same time. We have our Jazz in the Parklet, so you get your own soundtrack tonight for tonight's conversation. I was going to apologize for it, but I'm not going to apologize for it, because it's jazz, it's the mission, this is what it's all about. So I guess I'll keep this mic nice and loud. We have a tradition here at Manny's where we ask everyone to take a moment before the event starts and introduce yourself to someone around you and answer a question of my choosing. And the question tonight I'd love for you guys to answer for just 30 seconds for each person is, what do you think about Daniel Lurie? What's your thoughts on Daniel Lurie? What do you think? Take a second, talk about Daniel Lurie amongst people you don't know, and then we'll come back to it.
About him, but I know the Lurie name because they used to own the Giants, or they were involved in that. So I know they've been around. They have money, and I feel like I want new energy. I'm not a fan of Breed.
They tried to move the Giants out of town.
What's that? Say that again.
They tried to move the Giants out of town because Lurie wanted to sell them to Tampa Bay, but Peter McGowan came in and saved them.
I remember all that. My dad used to work for the Giants.
Yeah. I love the Giants.
Yeah.
I got off of them for the pandemic, and for some reason I never got back on the bandwagon.
Yeah, I know. My dad died, and like the Giants were such a class act. Like they sent this gorgeous, like, huge flower thing when my dad died, and all the people he worked with, like, came to his funeral, and then they invited my mom and my brother who lives in Boston.
What did he do with the Giants?
To go to the opening day, like, they honored the people who died. He used to be an usher, but he worked
cool.
where all the players, like, wives sat in the VIP, and he's been doing it for
right.
years. He did it at Candlestick, and then he did it
Now,
down
normally I would ask you all to, all right, bring it back. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom to my Jewish friends and those who love them. Shabbat Shalom. I'm going to do a couple announcements at the top because we're not going to be able to do it at the end. I'm not going to make you answer that question, but if you want to tell Daniel what you think about him afterwards, or tell Joe Eskenazi, feel free to. Manny's is a space where we talk about politics and civic life, and I'm just so proud that we're beginning this election season with this conversation. And I'm very thankful that Mission Local is doing it here. So excited that I think this is, Daniel, is this your first public interview in a space like this as a candidate?
I think so.
All right, cool. So it started here. I want to let you know about a couple
Say
events
hi
that
to
are
my
not
dog.
political debates. We have tomorrow in the Castro, the nonprofit that Daniel and I started, actually, Civic Joy Fund, is hosting a ton of stuff in the Castro from 12 to 8. There's a movie marathon in the Castro Theater. So check out Halloween in the Castro. All Out SF, which is a separate thing that we're organizing, we are doing a walk across the city on Sunday, starting at 7 a.m. at the where is it? At the, not the shipyard, but Candlestick Park. And we're ending all the way at Land's End. So you can find out all about that on welcometomannys.com. It's 17 miles, but if you do it, you will get your own banh mi and a glass of champagne. So it's gonna be great. And I think, and then last thing is next week we have not a lot of events at the top of the week, but then on Thursday we have 3 back-to-back events. We have the Surgeon General of the United States, Vivek Murthy, at 5:30. At 6:30, we have a conversation on the intersection of AI and medicine with a doctor who is studying that kind of intersection. And the third event is at 7:30. We have a conversation with the FTC chairwoman, Lena Khan. So definitely come early, get comfortable. And with that, I'm going to ask the esteemed Joe Eskenazi up to the stage to launch tonight's event. Thank you, Joe.
I joined this place. The very minimum. Thank you, man.
Thank you kindly. I think, Daniel, come on up. Wow, this is really good. Thank you for coming out tonight. I had no idea we'd have a backup band.
Wow. They sound great though.
They are really good. So if you can't hear us, let us know. All right? I really wasn't counting on that, but it's cool. They are really good. So thank you for coming. I appreciate this. I would hope to get every mayoral candidate up here. And you were the first. So
Thank you for having me.
So this is semi-scripted, but I'll say that Yogi Berra, better known for his malapropisms than his baseball playing, famously said, "I just want to thank everyone who made this day necessary," when he was honored by the St. Louis Cardinals when he came to town in 1947. And there are a lot of people who have very serious thoughts and feelings about the state of San Francisco, and there are a lot of ways to express those thoughts and feelings. And I would like to know, Daniel, why for you is it necessary to address those thoughts and feelings, specifically by running for mayor?
First, I want to thank you all for being here. I also want to apologize in advance for turning my back to this side of the room. At times I will try to address everybody. And Joe, thank you for having me. For me, if you've read a little bit about me, my kids go to school 2 blocks from here. And it started for me, this decision, in June, walking my kids across the street at 14th and Valencia and seeing a man in a state of real illness, screaming and naked at 8:05 in the morning. And my 2 kids, I have a 12-year-old daughter, 9-year-old son, looked at me, and they didn't say anything, but they looked at me, and I could tell they were like, what is going on? And you're the tipping point guy. You're the guy that's been tackling issues of poverty. You've been telling us about homelessness. And here we have someone right in front of us that is not well, and we're doing nothing about it, and we're going to keep walking to school. And it was in that moment that I realized that I had more to do, because what we keep seeing all across this city and in this country is everybody blaming everybody else for all of our failures. And what we're seeing on the streets, what we're seeing right around here, as I walked up the street here, 6 people doing drugs, 25 yards from here, it's on all of us. It's all of our fault. And as your mayor, as your next mayor, I am going to own it. I am going to be responsible. And that's how I think about running. It's going to take all of us, but I'm going to take ownership and responsibility.
Now, very sadly, people in very public distress in San Francisco is not new. And you know this better than many. You worked trying to remedy the homeless crisis for many years. Why now? What now has led you to this moment that it wasn't before?
There was a moment where a lot of people approached me after the unfortunate passing of our mayor, Ed Lee. There was a 2 or 3 week moment where I thought about it. And I saw Mayor Breed step up. At that time, my daughter was 6, 7 years old, and I was really excited. I thought, here is a woman from our city that my daughter gets to see as our mayor, and I was excited, and I wanted her to succeed. And we can all see with our own eyes, things are not working. And we have a system led by people that have been part of this entrenched system for far too long. And I really believe that we can all see that we have crisis. We have a crisis on our streets. We have a crisis of confidence in this city. We all know the stories. If you travel outside the city, if you go to the East Coast or you go to any other city, nationally or internationally, and you tell people where you're from, and you tell them you're from San Francisco, now it's, are you okay? Or are you safe? Before, it was, oh, that's my favorite city in the world. That's my next trip. I want to go get married there. We should all feel proud about San Francisco. And I'm running because I want my kids to feel as proud about being from San Francisco as I've always been. And so now is the time.
So it sounds to me like you're not just saying San Francisco needs a new mayor, that San Francisco needs a new mayor and systemic change.
That's correct. I mean, we have a broken, dysfunctional bureaucracy. I've seen some people describe it as, a 175-year-old company, 33,000 employees. We have had years and years of red tape put on top of red tape, much of it done by the people that I will be running against. And we need change at all levels. And so this argument that somehow, and you've made this argument many times, somehow that this is only one part of our system, whether it's just the Board of Supervisors or it's the DA or it's the police chief. It starts with the leader of our city. It starts with the mayor, and it goes on down. And so I believe we need change at all levels.
Can you explain why you are the person to bring about systemic change? This is not an intuitive choice.
Well, for you, it's not intuitive. Joe, I have a track record of getting big things done. I have a track record of bringing people together from all walks of life. I started Tipping Point. I have people that have voted for far right candidates and far left candidates on my board. We got together to find and fund great nonprofits that are executing, that we hold accountable, that have a demonstrated track record of getting results. I was asked by Mayor Lee to run Super Bowl 50 and get the bid for Super Bowl 50, or be the bid chairman. I had to go out and campaign against Miami, who, by the way, we've been losing to over the last few years. Had to go out and win the bid, pitch San Francisco, and we won it. We executed a very good event, so good that Super Bowl 60 is coming back. We brought $240 million of economic revenue to the San Francisco Bay Area. We made it the most philanthropic and giving Super Bowl ever, $13 million back into the community. We made it about community first. And then another thing I'll tell you about that, and back on the Super Bowl, I had to work with the mayors of San Jose, Oakland, San Francisco to get that event pulled off. So I know how to bring people together from all over this region. And finally, the housing project that we got built at 833 Bryant. 146 unit building. No one thought we could get this done. We got it done on time, under budget, with good paying union labor. 146 unit building, done $377,000 a unit. No one thought it was possible, and we got it done. So when I make a promise, when I say I'm gonna do something, I get it done.